Have you ever felt like you want to cry, but there is no clear reason why? That's what I felt in that afternoon. Lisbon was bright, sunny, like the Europe I remembered back in 2018. Summer choir competitions, laughing with friends. But by the time we arrived in Fatima, the warmth stayed behind. It was colder than I expected. Colder, quieter, but somehow calming. That night, at the chapel of the Apparitions, I joined my first candlelight procession. Thousands of people came from all over the world, strangers, different tongues, but one prayer. With a candle in one hand and rosary beads in another, together we solemnly prayed rosary in our own native tongues. I felt in awe. I never done this kind of rosary before, where I didn't understand the words the prayer leader said, nor the varied languages I heard in my surroundings. And yet, I understood what prayer that was, and able to reply to the prayers and hymns correctly. It was nothing short of magical. We didn't understand each other, but we knew instinctively the meaning of the prayer. When we lifted our candles for the Gloria Patri, it felt like a tribute, a wholehearted shout of praise, a moment of pride and gratitude. The last Amen was sung. Our Lady of Fatima statue was moved from behind the altar to the entry of the chapel. Our Lady kept moving through the crowd, gathering the faithfuls in her trail. Soft glows of candles moving in tandem, while Ave Maria di Fatima echoed across the plaza. It was the first time I heard this version of Ave Maria in my whole life, and somehow it felt like it had always lived in my heart. Our group leader always reminded us, be careful. Don't engage with strangers. You never know their intentions. But how could I ignore a simple, wholesome hello? Morning. 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 Hola. Morning. One fine morning in Fatima, after attending the morning mass, I decided to do the knee walking, a traditional act of penance and devotion. The path stretched from the Basilica of the Most Holy Trinity to the Chapel of Apparitions, 182 meters in total. I was prepared. I brought knee pads. The trail didn't look that long. And above all, I believed in my youthfulness. Surely I could do this without breaking a sweat. And I did. 3 rounds of rosary, 3 rounds of circling the chapel on my knees. Slight knee pain, yes, but still standing strong. But then, while standing at the back of the chapel in silence, waiting for others, I felt something was missing. I had done all the right things. I attended the Mass. I prayed. I walked on my knees. But even after all that, something inside still felt out of sync. I didn't feel distant from God, but I didn't feel especially close either. And that bothered me more than I expected. Had I focused too much on doing the penance, that I forgot to feel it? I wasn't sure. I'm still not. You might wonder, why Fatima? Fatima is a small town in Portugal, named after a Moorish princess who was once kidnapped by night. But more importantly, it became known for something else entirely. In 1917, 3 shepherd children, Francisco, Jacinta, and Lucia, reported seeing a woman dressed in white and glowing with radiant light. The world would later come to know her as Our Lady of Fatima. That sunny afternoon, I walked the way of the cross, through a path set to follow the trail the shepherd children used while tending their flock. The path wound through a lush, gently sloped landscape. A breeze accompanied us quietly, as if nature itself whispered prayers. Eventually, I reached the Hungarian Calvary. And as I stood at the edge of its platform, the land opened before me, vast and green, dotted with 3 white windmills in the distance. It felt deeply peaceful. Later, we visited Lucia's, one of the 3 children, old house. I'll be honest, I hadn't done my homework. I only started hearing Lucia's name after arriving in Fatima, and only in the context of her being one of the shepherd children. But then, something unexpected happened. As I stepped into her bedroom, a simple room with 2 small beds, a tiny window near the door, and a narrow roof opening that looked like a chimney. I felt tears pooling in my eyes. Why? The room wasn't especially beautiful. There were no relics, no voices, no scent of anything. Just a small space. And yet, something stirred in me. I peeked into the other rooms of the house, wondering if I'd feel the same. I didn't. Maybe it was the lighting. Maybe it was something else. I still don't know. I left the house confused and curious. Near her house, I saw a small store and picked up Lucia's autobiography. I wanted answers, and perhaps they are in that book. Book in hand, I left Fatima behind and continued my pilgrimage to the eastern side of the continent. I didn't find clarity, but maybe, just maybe, I came a little closer to understanding why I felt like I might. And maybe that's enough for now.